What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about what may be the Chicago Bulls' last day of the 2021-22 season when they face the Bucks tonight in Game 5 of the first round of the playoffs. We'll also be talking about some of the things going on with Bulls fans and conversations around Zach LaVine, Billy Donovan. We'll get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
Now, Bulls fans, ahead of the planned mailbag episode, which you guys, I'm pulling a lot in the mailbag episode. There's been a lot of, since Zach LaVine got announced to be in health and safety protocols, it's been everything from Bulls fans saying, oh, this is a conspiracy. Zach really just doesn't want to play. He knows he's out of here. All this craziness. And, one of the things that I've always tried to do here and try to be here is realistic, honest, level-headed, and objective. And, Bulls fans, I love you guys, right? I love us. I love C Red Nation. But we very much so have a sheep-like mentality when it comes to trade rumors and deals, not paying attention to anything that could be factual or make sense. Listen, Bulls fans, I'm going to start this off by saying Zach LaVine is not being signed and traded for Donovan Mitchell. It's not happening. In no way, shape, form, or sense does it make sense for the Jazz to trade for an older player with knee issues and trade a younger player for that. Listen, it's not happening. Bulls fans, I need you guys to wake up, right? I understand the season has been rough. I even understand the disappointment with Zach. I understand the disappointment with the team. I understand the idea of, maybe thinking the Bulls should move on. I understand that it's not going to happen and it's not realistic, but I understand it. But we got to stop getting into the sheep mentality where the moment a little trade rumor pops up in C Red Nation, now everyone wants to act and talk about it as if this is something that's going to happen, regardless of any factual, realistic, or anything. Zach LaVine is not being traded for Donovan Mitchell. It's not happening. Bulls fans, get it in your heads and understand the fact that Zach LaVine is going to be back in a Chicago Bulls uniform under a max contract. It's happening. It's happening. I don't want to hear nothing about DeMar. First of all, DeMar's here for a good time, not a long time. The Bulls need a piece. That doesn't say that they don't need a piece better than Zach. That doesn't say that they don't have their eyes on improving the team and maybe pairing Zach with a player that's better than him. It doesn't mean that. But Zach LaVine is going to be back here with a max level contract. One of the things that I always do, and I always say, and I understand, hey, listen, everybody spends their own time on what they want to spend their time on, which they should. And I know I'm drinking out of my off-season Christmas mug, but oh well. Tea's one of the only things keeping me healthy right now. But with that being said, I understand, the fact that Bulls fans are how disappointed we are in this season. This season sucked. The second half of the season, the way that it went, it was completely disappointing. Disappointing. The way that Zach LaVine and a lot of the players have played in the playoffs, I understand the discontent with that. But the reality of it is, Zach LaVine is going to be here. This team was built to keep Zach LaVine here. Zach LaVine is going to be a Chicago Bull. He's going to sign a max level contract here, especially when you look at the knee issue, this mysterious knee issue that may, especially if Zach needs surgery, it's all but guaranteeing that Zach LaVine is going to stay here because there's not many teams that are going to spend money on a player that has had mysterious knee issues, thumb issues, back issues over the course of his contract season. I get it, Bulls fans. I get it. We all want this team to be better. We all want this team to compete. We all want this team to be the best version possible. And this is, and keep in mind, I'm not even saying what I want. We're completely eliminating that. I'm not even going to introduce that because that would introduce a whole different thing. I'm talking about the reality of this situation. Zach LaVine is going to be back in a Bulls. Remember when I told you guys, the reality of it is that Kobe was not going to be traded at this trade deadline. Everything pointed to, if Kobe's even going to be traded, to wait to the offseason when you have more assets that you can use to pair, package, whatever, and move Kobe out of here. So many Bulls fans in the comments, oh, you're going to be so disappointed come February. Guess what? Kobe was still here. We got to be level-headed. We got to be realistic. We got to think about the things that we're saying here. Zach LaVine is going to be back in the Chicago Bulls uniform under a max contract, and any energy spent on thinking otherwise is just wasted energy, in my opinion. But hey, spend your energy where you want to spend it at. This game 5, I said it on Locked On Bulls, and I'm going to say it again here. I'm damn near prepared for a massacre on the Bucks home court. And the Bulls season is going to end very much how the second half of the season went, in a disappointment. This game 5 here, without Zach LaVine, looking at Patrick Williams, we may need a big night from him. We're definitely going to need Vooch to step up. We're going to need DeMar to do the usual things. But then we're looking at Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White possibly being in the starting lineup. With a bench that already hasn't been playing a lot of minutes, now a bench that's going to be even thinner, this game is going to be really, really crazy to watch, and it could be really, really ugly for Bulls fans. Now, if by chance the unimaginable happened, to somehow the Bulls pull out a win in this one, wow, right? But it remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, even if the Bulls do somehow pull out a magical win in this game, it doesn't change really the outlook of the series. It doesn't change much as far as the outlook of the second half of the Bulls season and how this offseason is ending. Now, again, another thing that Bulls fans are spending a lot of attention and time and energy in is Billy Donovan's contract. Or is Billy Donovan going to go? I have been very vocal. If you guys remember, when the Bulls were on winning streaks, when the Bulls were winning, I was pointing out things that Billy Donovan wasn't doing, and Bulls fans were, hey, are we winning? I'm confused. Haize, did we win or did we not? And I said it. If things keep going this way, we're in for an ugly stretch of games when we start playing better competition. And again, this video isn't to toot my own horn. It's just to state, to be realistic, to not get caught up in just the current, right? To really take a look objectively at things and realize how things could go. Now, I didn't want to be right about that. I didn't want to be the one that's right. Hey, that this thing could collapse and then it ends up collapsing. I didn't want to be right about that. I live, breathe the Chicago Bulls. I didn't want to be right about that. But guess what? It all came to fruition. Now, with that being said, on the Billy Donovan front, keep in mind, the Chicago Bulls still paying Jim Boylen. If they were to cut Billy Donovan this offseason, they would still have to pay him his next 2 years of his contract. All signs point to Billy Donovan being back here, regardless of how we feel about it. He's going to be back here again next season with an improved bench, with an improved team, because we do trust AK and Eversley to improve this team in the best ways that they can, realistically. But the writing's on the wall for Billy Donovan, I feel. And I know not everybody's going to agree with that. Is every problem on Billy Donovan? No. And that's another thing. Bulls fans, we got to stop trying to blame everything on one thing. It was all, try to be all on Vooch. Now it's all on Zach and his lack of leadership. And it's all on Billy Donovan for some people. It's all on DeMar and isolation ball for some. It's a combination of all of these things. So just firing Billy Donovan is not going to fix this team. Just getting rid and trading Zach LaVine for Donovan Mitchell, which is not a trade that's going to happen, is not going to fix what's going on with this team. Now, AK and Eversley, like I said before, back into the bench. Matt Thomas, gone. Derrick Jones Jr., I think he's going to command too much money from other teams that see some potential in him for him to be back. Troy Brown Jr., gone. Tony Bradley, who has a partially guaranteed contract, I think he's going to be gone. Tristan Thompson, I don't think Tristan's coming back with the way things have gone, unless the team drastically improves everything else on the bench. I think he's gone. Kobe White, you guys already know how I feel about Kobe White. I think he is going to. I don't expect the Bulls to keep the 18th pick unless they see or they think that they have a steal that could be a generational talent there. But I do think Kobe White's probably gone at the trade deadline. That leaves a lot of open spots on this roster to improve. Now, the Vucevic contract, I do expect Vooch to be back because I do think that with the season that he had, even though he's an expiring contract, it may be hard to move, but we'll see. AK and Eversley have gotten completely creative before. But expect a drastically improved bench, if nothing else, as well as a better team. Now, I know that's not going to be what Bulls fans are going to like. When the season starts and training camps open and Zach LaVine is still on this roster on the max contract, Billy Donovan is still the head coach. What does that mean for Bulls fans who have now bet all their things, all this thinking, all this everything on the fact that they want these guys gone? It's not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. Now, like I said, that's not even saying that I necessarily want Billy Donovan. I've been very vocal before. I don't even want to see the Bulls go after name. DeMar Jacksons, keep that shit. Almost any other coach that you can name, keep all that shit. I want to see AK and Eversley go after their guy, their Spoelstra, Eric Spoelstra. Why do I want to name the guy Mark? Eric Spoelstra, a guy who they really think can build up and turn into a great head coach over time. That's what I want to see this team do. I want to see this team build the next great head coach rather than go after some name. And we'll see that. I'm sure that over the course of this, best believe, if Billy Donovan is here next season, which I do expect him to be, AK and Eversley are looking out for the next coach. They're looking out for it. The way that this season went, the second half of this season, the lack of adjustments being made, the lack of effort at times, best believe AK and Eversley have in their back pocket and are looking, hey, who are some people? Who are some people that we can possibly bring in the next year or so? Be on the lookout for that. It's going to happen. Again, off-season Christmas mug. I don't give a damn. It's just so soothing. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. This game 5, to talk about it tonight. We will have I don't know about pregame because the game starts so early as far as in the evening. I'll be so close to me getting off work, but we will have a halftime hangout. We will have a post-game show. You guys know I'm back full swing. But I just want this Bulls, like the disappointment of this season is going to take a lot to wash away. We're going to be dealing with this the whole offseason. People are going to be second guessing every move the Bulls do or do not make. And I understand it. Be clear, as much as I came out with fervor and fire, I understand the discontent. I understand the wanting to see this team do other things. I understand all of it. But let's be realistic in it. And this video may turn some people off. You guys already know I don't give a damn. I have to be real honest and true to how I feel about this team and the way that I cover this team. And I've been that since the beginning. And we'll see what this team does in the offseason. But I still trust AK and Eversley. I still trust their vision. I still trust that they are going to do whatever they can in their power to improve this team season in and season out. And the way that this season has ended has given them a lot of food for thought. It's given the Bulls fandom a lot of food for thought. And we will remain to be seen on what could possibly be the last game of the 2021-22 season for the Chicago Bulls. Game 5 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me know what you guys think down below about everything said here. Let me know what you guys keep getting in those voicemails, keep getting in those emails, keep getting your hot takes in the comments, because I'm going to be pulling everything from everywhere when we do this mailbag episode Friday before I send you guys off for the weekend. But I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave us a text and or voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. That's it. See red, don't be red. I will see you guys tonight for the games. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.